One of the companies tried to quote us 5 times what we paid to move our stuff. Like, be for real. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. These are tips and recommendations I have learned from moving across country that I think can be helpful to others. So let's hop right into it. The first tip is do your research, figure out where you want to go, figure out if, the climate is ideal for you, if the job economy is ideal for you, if the commute time from job opportunities are ideal. Do your research and see if this city makes sense for you to relocate to before you're like, all right, I'm packing all my things and going. Please do your research first. Go visit the city and see if you like the vibe. If you can afford to, take 1, 2, how many ever trips before you lock in and say, this is where I'm going to move, and just explore, try to experience it as if you're a local, or even just try to experience it as a tourist. But the point of it is just go to the city that you are considering living in and see if you feel comfortable, if that is what you are interested in being surrounded in. Once you've locked in on your city and you're like, okay, the vibe feels right for me, I recommend, you figuring out what apartments interest you, and then you need to go in person. Maybe 2 at the minimum, 4 months, probably like the max, and go see these apartments in person. A lot of people are really good at making things look great in photos. I experienced this when I lived in New York. I remember going to an apartment that I had saw a listing for, and I was like, oh, the room looks so spacious. When I tell you that was a shoebox disguised as a room. So please go see these places in person. Sometimes things actually look way better than they photograph them. Sometimes things look way worse. So just go there, get your eyes on the place, understand what is going on. There might be some things that you didn't see in the pictures that you're like, oh, I didn't know that they had these benefits. And then there's some things when you get to the apartment, you're like, I know you lying. So I highly recommend, once you narrow down your list of places, set the appointment and go visit these apartments in person so you can really tell if this is going to be your new home. Try to figure out a rough estimate, and then whatever that rough estimate is, save more than what you need, because there's a lot of things when it comes to moving that add up. You have to pay for boxes, the shipping company, or a moving truck. If you're shipping your car, you have to pay for that first, last, and deposit for your apartment. There's a lot of things that add up if you're buying furniture right away, maybe the groceries when you first get there, cleaning supplies. There's a lot of things. So I also said add more than you think you need, because sometimes you underestimated the price of how expensive or not expensive things would be. So it's better to have more than enough money saved than to be short. You know what your budget is, what your range is for the apartment. Another thing you might have to save for is flight if you're leaving as far as I did. Some people, they're willing to drive cross country. I flew and I shipped my car. So do whatever works best for you. But at the end of the day, save more than your estimate, because trust me, it's going to come in handy. Go through all of your things, or as much of your things as possible, so you know what you have, so you know what you need, and so you know what you want to get rid of. And in terms of getting rid of it, maybe you can sell it, you can donate it. There's a lot of options, but I recommend starting to sort through your things, because like me, I had a lot of stuff that I hadn't been using. It's not because I didn't want them. It's just out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Just try to go through your things so that you have a better idea of oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had this many clothes, or, oh, I haven't, used this item in 3 years. I can get rid of it. So just things like that. It's important to start sorting through your items as soon as possible so that you have a good so that you have a good inventory of what you have and what you're trying to get rid of. Try to reduce the number of big items that you're packing. Again, you know what's best for you, but for us, we didn't bring any big items except for my walking pad and my dresser. But other than that, we didn't bring mattresses or bed frames. We didn't bring a couch or a dining table or anything like that. We got those things when we got here. So if it makes sense for you to put them in your moving truck or your storage unit and bring it with you, then do that. But for us, it just made more sense to not bring those things or not buy them ahead of time and just buy them once we got here. Make a list of the items that you need to get in general. So either when you first arrive or in the long haul. I say this because you don't want to accidentally buy duplicates or so for instance, for us, We didn't realize that we had like a bunch of spoons. Then we bought spoons. And I was looking in the drawer the other day and I was like, why do we have mad spoons? So just be aware of like what you have and what you need. So then that way you don't have multiples of the same thing, or like you buy something that you actually just don't need in general and you were like, oh, I thought I needed this. So keep that in mind. I think it's helpful. Like I said, you don't want to be like us with 50 loving spoons. The next recommendation on the list is ask retail stores for boxes. This is what we did. We did also buy some boxes as well, but we asked a few retail stores. So we started packing around holiday season. So, a lot of the stores were receiving a lot more packages. It was just easier for us to ask them like, hey, do you have extra boxes? Can we come and pick them up? Try different department stores and see what they say. It doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they can tell you is no. And I mean, you already didn't have the boxes, so it doesn't really make a difference, but go for it. Ask. Again, it helped reduce our costs when it came to buying boxes. We still bought some, but we bought a lot less because we were able to get some from some retail stores. Exploring different shipping companies and like options, whether it's for a storage unit, like something like pods, or driving like moving truck with yourself, like U-Haul, or hiring a moving company, which is what we did. Explore your options because we thought something like pods would be cheaper, especially because we have Costco membership and they give a discount for pods, but it ended up being that with our move, the moving company was better for our budget and just a better fit for us. So I just say explore. Some companies, the price seems too good to be true because guess what? It is too good to be true. Do your research, see what people are saying with different reviews, explore different prices. And again, I keep saying explore different companies with different prices because one of the companies tried to quote us 5 times what we paid to move our stuff. Like, be for real. So don't get bamboozled. Don't get tricked by these companies trying to sell you a dream. Look into each and every one that you are considering and then lock in on what's best for you. And while you're doing that, trust your intuition because there were some companies and I'm like, ooh, the price sounds good. But my gut was like, girl, no. So yeah, do your research. Get reviews, explore different companies and get different quotes and, do what works best for you. So that way you have the best deal just to like add an additional thing on top of this. Asking around also helps you with the other tip I said about getting having an estimate. So like if you have to save this amount for the deposit for your apartment, if you know that you have to, that the moving truck costs this much, if your flight costs this much, then you can, add all those together and be like, okay, I'm going to save an additional $400 on top of that amount. So just, keep all of that in mind, but please explore these different companies. If you are going to drive like a moving truck yourself or, somebody is helping you drive the moving truck and you're meant to unload it, I would recommend hiring a local moving company so that they can help you unload your stuff when you get to your apartment. This can be, this might be a lot cheaper than having a moving company do it for you, but I highly recommend, because that was another option that we were exploring, is like maybe doing pods where we packed it up ourselves when the pod gets delivered, then having a local moving company unload everything for us to just save time. I highly recommend labeling every box with what is inside of them. We did not do that. And like you can just have like maybe a notes in your phone and say like box 1, you can label box 1 and then say inside box 1 is all of like my bathroom items. We did not do that. We were opening boxes like, what's this? What's this? And the other part of that is have 1 to 2 boxes for necessities that you need right away when you move in. Something like toilet papers or utensils, those things like that you need immediately. So that way you're not like scrambling like, oh, what box did I put this in? Or where is this item? Those two go hand in hand. Label all the boxes, but have those like 1 to 2 boxes aside for immediate, I need to open this as soon as I move in. Save old boxes and newspapers. When you start getting like packages that are bigger items, once you know that you're moving, try to save those boxes so that you can reuse them to reduce how many boxes you have to buy from the store. Also, like save old newspapers so like you can wrap out your items. We use old newspapers. We also bought some bubble wrap, but if you want to help reduce your costs, whenever you start buying things in general and you're like, oh, this is a good size box, save the box so that you can use it to pack your things in. And the final moving tip is start the process earlier than you think, especially when it comes to packing. I definitely knew I had a lot of stuff. Like, I'm definitely not a minimalist. And as I was packing, I'm like, are my things multiplying? So please start sooner rather than later to give yourself ample time. And I'm especially talking to my procrastinators. Please do not wait until last minute to try to pack your whole life to move to a whole nother state. So with that being said, those are my tips. I think there was 10 plus. If there's anything that you're like, Fatimah, this is also helpful for when I move cross country, please leave a comment below. If there's anything that you have questions on about cross country move, I'll do my best to answer them below. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.